Hey everyone, we're going to move on with our technical theatre unit. We're moving on to sound design. What is the reason for sound design? If we think about this in terms of theatre, these are the main things that it can do. This is also the same for film, but let's think about theatre for now. So it can motivate an onstage action. So if there's a phone ringing, that provides motivation for the actor to go answer that phone. If that doesn't happen on the night, there's a reason why it doesn't work. It looks a bit strange or weird. It can support or illustrate an event that's taking place off stage. A train whistle, okay, if there's someone about to board a train, it's not quite realistic in the theatre for someone to go to the train, for it to be there on stage. So instead it can be off stage. The whistle lets the audience know exactly what's happening with it. It establishes a setting, whether it's nighttime, daytime. There's little ambient noises that could let the audience know, whether it's raining, snowing, those sorts of things. Locates the action in a specific place. Let's say you open a door, you walk in through that door, which is just the wing. Okay, so you walk in through there and you open the door, and all of a sudden the snow, you can start to hear it. You close the door, it stops. They know where the door is now. You open a window, they know where that is. If there is someone who's injured off stage, we know exactly where that person is because of where the noise is coming from. Creates mood and changes in mood. That one's probably the most obvious reason for sound design, that sort of impact that music and sound can have on the action that's actually happening. It engages the audience in suspense. It lets them know what that sort of mood is. It's really a helping hand for them. It can help you to build characters. So for melodrama, if a character was coming on who was the bad guy, they would always play the same music. That sort of like Darth Vader walk in, always plays the same music so that then they know what sort of character he is. And building transitions between scenes can help to keep a mood going. So I did Living with Lady Macbeth a couple of years ago. In between scenes there, we had a sort of, it's called Lavender's Blue, a bit of a creepy lullaby sort of thing, and that kept the audience sort of going, okay, what's going on here? Rather than all of a sudden the audience going, oh, okay, scene change, let's see what happens next. So here's an example of the impact that sound can have on the mood, the story, and the atmosphere. Now, I won't play this for copyright reasons, but I will show you in class, or if you'd like a copy, then just ask me, that's fine. What are the different types of sounds heard in the theatre? So there's soundscapes, which are something that is sort of an ambient track behind that will play those for you. A soundscape also can tell a story in itself, where you can press play, hear it, and you'll know exactly what was going on. Pre-recorded sound effects, probably the most common, often done with something like a laptop, where you either make those sound effects. We talked today in class about Foley. If you're not sure what Foley is, look it up, Foley artist, Google that now. Now you finished doing that. So pre-recorded, the most common that happens, and for a naturalistic sort of play, you want naturalistic sound effects. So actually getting those sound effects are what you probably want. You can have live sound effects which have a totally different feel to them, whether it is a more absurdist play where you can make more exaggerated sounds, or just for that visual effect, how good it looks. You can also use people to make the sound effects on stage. I tried that a couple of years ago with Rhinoceros in that absurdist sort of feel, and it worked really well. Music in the foyer. Before people walk in to the theatre, get them in the mood for what they know. If it's meant to be a little bit creepy and somber, play that sort of music so then they know that. They know what to expect. You don't want someone who's expecting something different because then they won't necessarily be open to 100% of everything you say. Music between scenes. Alice in Wonderland a few years ago I did. Not here, but in between the scenes, there was Beatles music playing, the creepiest sort of Beatles songs, and that sort of kept that sort of psychedelic, mysterious, and still a little bit, not creepy, but sinister, something about it. And what's the different impact on each of these? We'll have a discussion. So the role of the sound designer, they source, they compose, or make the sound effects, depending on your level of skill or depending on how many resources you have. You study the script for clues and cues. So there might already be sound effects written in, there might not be, and the director needs you to add some more in. So you discuss with the director and other offstage crew what the sort of style you're going for. Is it meant to be absurd? Is it meant to be realistic? Is it meant to all sort of have a certain feel and tone to the music, to the sounds. Understand the moments that you're supporting. So go to rehearsals. You have a look to go, okay, is this a crucial moment? Oh, it's not like that in the script, but it is here. I'd better mark that. Or there's going to be a long pause at this point. Or someone needs to move from there to there. Or they're upstage for that part. I need to have quiet sound effects. Then you spend time actually doing it, making it, going out, finding the sound effects, getting it all together working, putting it into a playlist, taking it to rehearsal, and then always there's going to be refining to do because there's mistakes, there's things you're not quite ready for that happen in the tech rehearsal, stuff breaks, always more stuff to be doing. So what I want you to think about, so let's say you've got two different plays. One is Alice in Wonderland. The audience is for children. The themes involve sort of that fun, wacky side of Alice in Wonderland. Then Rhinoceros. And what Rhinoceros is about is it's aiming for the audience to consider the impact of conformity, and it's an absurdist play. Both need sound effects. How are you going to approach them? How are you as the sound designer going to approach the sound effects? What sort of sound effects will you use? Come up with answers for one, and we'll talk about that in class. This is what we're going to be doing next lesson. I'm going to give you a couple of pieces of music, and you're going to listen to them, and then you're going to interpret this dialogue and see how it changes depending on the music. Okay? Well, that's it for today. So do those things, and I'll see you next lesson. Bye.